Okay, Eric, I've got you up here. Um, don't forget, one of the requirements here is that we need to post a 200 to 300 word explanation with your submission here. And I don't think we're quite there here. I didn't do a word count, but I don't think we're quite there. If you jump over to the week 2 critique exercise person, place, and thing, this page right here, there's some really nice little questions here that you can use to compile your written requirement for the assignment. So I just want to make sure you don't forget that written requirement. Okay, so good descriptions here. You're saying, I mean, let's go through, made the adjustments dark and grainy to match the film photo of the nuclear detonation. Okay, that's an issue. I'll talk about that in a second. My adjustments were made to attempt a seamless blend between each of the different images without seeming too out of place. Utilizing a stylus could have helped. Offensively, utilizing clipping mask was probably the most helpful in this exercise. I also utilized several filters, such as grain and blur, to make the image placements layer. Okay, I'm seeing that as something a little bit different. I'm going to do a system zoom here, which you're not going to see in this video. But as I do, I can see something that's pretty clearly obvious, and this image that you're using for the mushroom cloud is a low resolution image. It seems like the other images are much greater, much better resolution, as they seem to be a much more crisp and clear as we zoom in. But this seems to be a low resolution image. So basically, you've got to match resolution with resolution. You can't composite a 72 ppi image with a 300 ppi image and expect good results. It just, resolution doesn't work like that. I think what's happening here is you're attempting to add grain and other artifacts to the background image to try to match this image, but this is a low resolution image. So instead of doing that, what I would recommend doing is finding a high resolution image of the mushroom cloud. I think that's really, really going to be your fix right there. Also want to take a look at something here. Oh, that's an object in his hand. Okay. Okay, so we talk about the mushroom cloud resolution. We talked about the 300 word written requirement. Let's talk about file size. Don't forget, this is supposed to be 8 by 10. This is not 8 by 10. It's not even 10 by 8 either. So don't forget your file size recommendations. As far as your selections go, I think we've got the background image. And again, the background image, let me just do again another quick system zoom. Again, it looks as though the background image is, again, another low resolution image. As we can see, a lot of blurriness and a lot of compression artifact. As we look at the background image, we'll know more when we take a look at the Photoshop document, the PSD. But my recommendation here is to make sure you're using all 300 ppi images. If you can't find 300 ppi images, use as high resolution as you can. But what you don't want to do is mix 72 ppi images with 300 ppi images, which is kind of exactly what's going on right here. That's why you get this really, really super obvious disconnect between the visual quality of this image and the mushroom cloud, and also the background image being a low quality, very blurry image as well. So my recommendation is to use the main image, find a new background image, find a new mushroom cloud image to composite. Let's talk about selections a little bit. I think your selections are pretty good. You've got some good selections going on all the way through here. Nice job with the hair. Excellent job with your hair. I'm again system zoom here. Yeah, really good job with your selections with your hair. Now, I'm doing a system zoom because there was no JPEG submitted, so I can't really zoom in and take a look as needed. So what we see here is you've got some questionable selection techniques right through here. So we can see this kind of blurred, feathered selection right here, which isn't consistent with the rest of the really kind of crisp, clear selection techniques. All the way right through here, the bottom of the hair, the top shoulder, all the way around the arm, and especially right through here. I'm sorry, all the way around the hand, the fingers, and especially right here, we see the super feathered selection. So you want to make sure that that's not a feather, it's actually a solid selection as opposed to a feathered or blurred selection. Okay, so we've covered image size, we've covered the writing, we've covered resolution, we've covered selection techniques. Other than that, I think it's a good concept, it's a good idea, it's an interesting and compelling composition. So I think the narrative quality is actually excellent. So really good conceptual development here. Methodology, let's work on that a little bit. Again, we'll know more when we see that that Photoshop document, but you definitely don't want to mix resolutions in your composite work. It never works. Another thing to keep in mind is that Photoshop is not very good at all at increasing image sizes. So if you have a really small image and you try to increase it, unless it's a very high quality Photoshop document, it won't be able to be enlarged. I'm sorry about it. My dogs are barking. It's probably so distracting, not to mention pretty obnoxious. So I'm sorry about that. At any rate, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if I can provide any clarifications, I'll be glad to do so. Thank you very much.